This is Kyle Martin Paintings. Hey, welcome back to my painting channel. Happy holidays and Happy New Year. I thought I'd sit down with you today and talk about some New Year's resolutions for artists. I filmed this video yesterday and I ended up recording for over an hour. So I'm thinking about my editor, my partner Corbin, and she's the reason that my videos are making it to you. She's taken over the editing process. I'm going to refilm this video in a more concise and condensed fashion. Can you believe that I would get a little bit too in-depth in one of my videos? We're moving into 2025, and 2024 was full of excitement for all of us, and we're finishing the chapter and we're starting a new one. Can you believe that it was 25 years ago that all of the Y2K excitement was happening? I can remember the 2000 New Year. When I think about the goals that I want to set and the New Year's resolutions that I want to follow for the new year, I want to reverse engineer my goals. I want to first think about the life that I want to live in 2025. And that's going to help me set goals that are going to lead me to having that experience. The goals that I have is I want to talk about my family life because I'm a family man. I have a small child and that weighs into it. I want to talk about the goals that I have for my paintings. Finally, I want to talk about the way that I'm prioritizing my health, my physical health in 2025, continuing to prioritize that. And I also want to talk about the financial goals that I have. And that kind of deals with shows and things like that I want to do. First thing, I guess, let's get right into it, growing as a painter. And I'm approaching all of these resolutions as a mid-career artist. I've been doing this for coming up on 2 decades. And if this isn't mid-career, I don't know what is. So the goals that I have are a lot different than if you're just starting out, or maybe if you're at the end of your journey as an artist. Growing as a painter, for me, I always want to be incorporating new ideas from different places into my artwork. As far as being a semi-representational painter who borders on the abstract end of the spectrum, to me, it always comes back to the fundamentals. It's the fundamentals of good drawing. It's the fundamentals of using strong value contrasts, and it's the fundamentals of great color. And so I just always am looking to take things back to the basics as far as those 3 categories of painting are concerned. I just ordered a set of grayscale acrylic paints, which is going to allow me to use those paints to create more value studies and maybe more starts of paintings. You know, you can paint oil paint right over acrylic paint. So I'm kind of envisioning creating some grayscale paintings just using strong value contrasts and then coming back over the top of those with oil paint. And so that's a way that I can go back to basics and I can just spend some time focusing on the abstract composition. Because the way that you select your values and the way that you design your canvas in terms of the big puzzle pieces or the big shapes of value, that's really what I'm interested in as a painter. So continuing to follow down that path with some fun new tools. As far as growing as a painter, I've always been a person who's been committed to a daily practice. Now, as a family man, I know that my family is more important than my painting practice. And it's great to have all the freedom that setting your own schedule can offer. I know that when my daughter goes down for a nap, I have a couple of hours where I can get some painting done. That's actually a really nice thing because I don't have to think about when I'm scheduling in my painting time. She's doing the scheduling for me. My niece always says that her daddy is a boss, but she's the real boss. And I think that's true in my family as well. Going along with committing to a daily practice, I'll paint when my daughter is sleeping and after she goes to bed. So I have my couple hours to 3, 4, 5 hours a day that I'm able to paint. But I need to approach every painting session with my mood in a good place. I always want to be happy and in a good place when I'm painting. One resolution that I have is to recommit to the emotional guidance scale. And I'm pretty good about this. In general, I'm a pretty, people say, my students at the school always say, I'm so chill, you know, I'm just a chill guy, I guess. And I am in a good mood. I mean, what is there to complain about? But I think that we have the ability to play the emotional guidance scale, and we have the ability to raise our mood and make it even better than where it's at. And it just takes a few quiet moments to reflect on where you are and maybe some self-talk to get you up into the upward pointing vortex of emotion. One thing about being a human being on the planet Earth is that we're in a experience of emotions. We're on a planet where we're having this experience of being a human, and it's a very emotional experience. When you're painting, Grant Wood said that painting was no different than sweating blood. So if you don't give some attention to your emotions, you can get into some dark moods or some dark thoughts while you're painting. I think that the emotional guidance scale is something that I will be continuing to explore and look at and use to help strengthen my painting practice. I mean, why wouldn't we all want to be in a good mood anyway? And if you're painting the light, I think that you have to have that light attitude as well. Let's go into the health aspects of things. Painting outdoors, if you're a plein air painter, it's extremely demanding, and it's physically demanding, it's mentally demanding. There's nothing that you will do that can tire you out or give you fatigue as much as plein air painting, and any kind of painting for that matter, whether you're in the studio or not. As far as health goes, it's just a balance. There's two sides of the coin. There's painting, and then there's life away from painting. For me, I love to exercise. I just got off of the elliptical, doing some different workouts every week in order to maintain the strength that I have, to have a foundational strength so that I'm able to continue skateboarding. My relationship with skateboarding is a lot different right now than it was in my early 20s or in my 20s, but there still is progression present in my relationship with skateboarding. I think that at any age you can have progression. It's just in a different area. You can have progression in your health even as you are aging, and you can also have progression in your artwork even as you're aging. So I like to keep that forward facing momentum with my skateboarding. You know, as far as bringing new inspirations into my artwork from other areas and other fields, I think that I do draw a lot of inspiration from my skateboarding practice. If I spend a day going downtown in Madison or Milwaukee or Chicago skateboarding, I'm going to come back with a great experience of that day, and I'm going to be recharged with all this new energy. It's kind of like travel. It's kind of like how travel is good for your art making. Even if you're not necessarily making plein air paintings while you're taking a trip, you still are having those experiences, and that just helps you expand as a person, and those kind of things make its way into your artwork as well. I think that health and all this stuff, it's all interconnected, but it's two sides of the same coin, because when you're painting, you're standing still. You want to have that movement as well. And your health will incorporate itself into your artwork as well. Addressing burnout, I'm not experiencing extreme burnout or anything like that at this moment. I am really good at taking some breaks, and I'm good at taking care of myself, making sure I'm getting adequate, making sure I'm getting enough rest, even though I am a father of a young child, and I'm eating as well as I can and doing all those kind of things. If you are experiencing burnout, I would say if you are going through a period or a season of burnout in your life, there's help for you to help overcome, or just not even overcome. It's not all about winning all the time. It's just making it through that stage of burnout. I know about 10 years ago, I was going through a period where I was painting nonstop all day long. I never had any separation between my painting life and my life away from painting. And I developed these knots in my back, and I just was not excited about painting. And that is not a good feeling place to be. And so I had to take a look at the way I was living my life. I quit drinking alcohol at that time. I quit doing a lot of things that were unhealthy and just kind of chose a more healthy path. And I'll say that, it's you hear a lot of people talk about how health is the right path to be on. But for an artist, any artist who is a tortured artist in that way is going to experience burnout and is going to have to address that at some point. It's the sine waves of our life. It's the ups and downs. But I think the way that I address burnout is just through taking regular breaks. It's through connecting with myself, through connecting with my body, getting out of my head and getting into my body, whether it's through a yin yoga practice, or it's through the core workout that I do, or the legs workout, or riding my skateboard. Those things seem to be what does it for me. And finally, we have our financial goals that we have to talk about within the new year. Having diverse income streams is the way that you have to do it as an artist. Not too many painters that I know make their entire yearly income strictly from sales of their artwork. I do a nice job selling my paintings. I have a big show every year. It's called the Fall Art Tour. That's my biggest fundraiser for the year. That's where I get probably 40% of the money that I bring in over the year. I also have a monthly painting income. I'm setting up commissions and I'm doing things throughout the year so I can make a certain amount of money off of sales of my artwork through the year. I'm selling paintings every month of the year. That is half of my monthly income. I also have 3 side hustles to talk about. If you're interested in making more money from your art practice or to supplement your art practice income, there's 3 side hustles. I've been a substitute teacher since the year 2014. I'm a certified teacher in the state of Wisconsin, so my teaching license made it an easy segue for me to enter the world of substitute teaching. I never wanted to teach full-time because my painting practice already was providing nice income for myself, so that I never actually went into full-time teaching. But substitute teaching is very flexible, and I like it. I make $140 a day as a substitute teacher. That's in the state of Wisconsin. Every state is going to be different. If you have at least an associate's degree or a 2-year degree, you can be a substitute teacher. You might not make as much as I make because I have a teaching license and I'm certified, but they've lowered the standards in the state of Wisconsin. Anybody with a education 2 years or higher can be a substitute teacher. And I think it's rewarding because the teachers are happy you're there. You're constantly being thanked for being there, because if no one covers the open job for the teacher who needs a sub, those other teachers in the department or in the school need to go in and fill that position. That means that they're missing out on their prep time or their time to be planning for their next lessons. So they're very happy that you're there. It's a fun environment. It's an environment a lot like art making, because it's just you're thrown into life, and there's a lot of excitement around the schools. There's always stuff going on. Kids don't stay still, and artists don't stay still. I gain a lot of perspective through substitute teaching. Corbin also works as a substitute teacher, and she likes it as well. Another side hustle that you can do to make money for your art practice is hosting a workshop. And I host a plein air workshop every spring out here on the farm. I also teach at the Peninsula School of Art in Door County. And workshops are a really fun teaching opportunity. Anytime you're going to teach a workshop, it actually forces you to clarify your message or clarify your own process with plein air painting. If I'm going to sit here and explain to you exactly the steps for creating a value sketch before starting a plein air painting, I have to kind of think about that. And through that process of formulating lesson plans for workshops, it clarifies your own message as an artist. And that's a very powerful thing. The classes that I hold out here on the farm, I charge between $300 and $350. It's a 3-day workshop. And the first day we only paint in black and white, so that I'm teaching people how to edit the information that they're seeing into only shapes of value, large puzzle pieces, to help them focus on the compositions that they're creating and helping them understand the way that you can create light with paint. On the second day, we make a painting in black and white, and then we begin to put color over the top of it. That's a fun day because you can understand that every color of paint that you mix has an inherent value or a value that's assigned to it. And on the third day, we just go all in for full color impressionist painting. I've been hosting workshops since 2011, 2010, 2011. It's a wonderful thing. You can also teach classes through continuing education at your local colleges, community colleges, wherever it is. But I will say that there is a large need for art workshops. People will spend money on having that experience of you teaching them. And so you can make a nice amount of money. Now I have energy to do a few workshops every year. I'm not teaching them like every other week or anything like that. There are people who do that. If you're someone who loves to teach and wouldn't mind being on the move, you could do van life and travel all around the country doing art workshops, and you could probably make a lot of money doing that. For me, it's like I put a lot into it, and it's once I'm done with my workshop for the year, it's kind of like I need to exhale, and then I inhale over the coming year, and I regain inspiration and energy to do some more workshops. Two or three workshops a year is what I do. This year, I'm teaching at the local University of Wisconsin school. I'm teaching drawing and painting at UW, and that's the side hustle that I've been focusing on during the last year. We're currently on break. My first semester class was a drawing class, and my belief with a drawing class is that if you're a first or second year student at the university and you're taking drawing 101, you should come out of there being able to draw realistic things. And everybody who made it through my class would be able to go out and draw a landscape realistically or an animal realistically. There's no limit to what they could do. And I got really nice feedback from my class. But that's my true belief, is that if you're going to come to a class, you should learn how to draw. Now, I know that the goal of the University of Wisconsin is not, the focus of the art program is not on realistic drawing or painting. However, it's about more modern principles of art and things like that. But as a foundations level instructor, what I'm giving my students is that rewarding experience of learning how to draw realistically from life. And in the springtime, we're going to start a painting class. So right now I'm switching classrooms and I'm getting all the supplies in order, and I'm getting ready to host 19 or 20 students in a painting class. And so that's going to be a good time as well. The three side hustles that I'm doing now are teaching at the university, substitute teaching, although I'm not subbing very much right now because the UW job is taken over, and then doing some workshops. My big show for the year is, of course, the Fall Art Tour. A goal that I have every year is to show 100 or more new paintings on the Fall Art Tour. I will paint all year for that opportunity, and I'm sure I'll be able to hit that mark again if I'm turning out a couple new paintings every week that are frameable. In order to come up with 2 paintings a week that are frameable, I probably have to paint a couple more than that, just because you only want to show your best work. Those are the ways that I make money, and I just need to kind of just put that back into my mind. These are the things that I'm doing. We're getting through the holidays. It's fun to think about what's coming up next. And I think I covered it. I think I refilmed this video in a lot shorter time than what I did yesterday. I just want to spend this time too to thank Corbin for the editing that she's doing on these videos. I wouldn't be coming to you on YouTube weekly like I am if it wasn't for Corbin. I used to do all of the editing, but she took over last year, and it's been a relief to have somebody else working on this channel with me. So have a great 2025. If I missed anything, write it in the comments. And I'd like to hear what you're focusing on in the new year. And let me know if I can help out with any of your goals. All right. Happy New Year. Happy holidays. We'll do this again soon.